Okay, unrehearsed the first time I've used it. I've used the Boy Scout ones when I was a kid. I've already had the top taken out with my safety lid can opener. I also make cans. I'm thinking about putting them together to make a stovepipe for my little camp stove I made. It was one of the first videos I ever made. So I haven't figured out how to put them together. I might have to put another piece of tin, but I've got so many of them. I want to go slow because I might want to use this can for something, but I'm really satisfied with that. You don't want these can openers to have a bunch of metal shards falling down on your pork and beans because you're going to be eating them. So you want it to be clean, a clean cut. So I'm pretty happy with that. First time I used it. I do like that. Sometimes I've looked at these and wonder why the cutter blade was angled that direction instead of being angled this direction to make a cleaner cut along this edge. Because it's actually doing the cutting on this side. But they're smarter than me. Not taking a whole lot of effort. I mean, if you're not that patient when you're out somewhere starving, this only can opener you have. I don't believe in doing the old hunting knife trick, pound it down in the can, unless you was starving to death, because, just my opinion, you're going to have some metal shavings in your food. It's not a way to die. You got food survival situation, you die because you got metal shavings in your intestines and your stomach. Hold that down with my finger. I said I should have my gloves on for this, but they were kind of bulky. Okay, it did fall down in there. I could have lifted it out. Most people probably would have lifted it all the way over, and you had about a ½ inch or so left, because that'll help pick your can up off the fire. But I want to take this out to see how good it actually took the lid out of there. I'm happy with that. Okay, we're going to try another tool. I don't know which one. So we'll pause it again and we'll try another. Okay, here's another idea before I put this away. Say you want to make a little improvised hobo stove. It is bending on the can, you slide them out. Just stay away from your seam on cans. You just ask for trouble. It's bending it a little bit, but I'm sure if you made enough of these, I like holes. If I make a little hobo stove, I need to do some videos sometime. I should have before it got winter time. Cooking outside on a little hobo stove just to see how good I think they are. That seems to be pretty good. I kind of like how it bends it out of the way to one side. Get scientific with some how the airflow goes. Get down on camera. I have to keep looking around here. I like that. You can make a little space them out a little further on this one. You got a big can, you get that many holes. And I'm sure with the lid on the bottom, if you want to make the hobo stove that has the bottom on it still, it's going to poke right through there. But I do like that. It's just your common vegetable can, off-brand. The stoves are firing up over there a little more. I have a piece of wood that fell down to the door. Big piece right here. Might as well put this on the middle. This big piece right here should be up on top of something like this, so it gets some more airflow. I don't worry too much about smoke coming back from the shed, but after you get enough of it, you wish you didn't do it. But I do like my modified air thing, because this is sucking a lot of air. Especially when you get wood that wants to spark back, because you have the bark popping and everything. It's not going to pop down through this hole. I've never had that happen. I just seen a small one pop through here. I am inside of the wooden floor, so that's why I'm shutting that. Okay, we're going to pause this. We're going to find if there's any other tool I can use right now to do something else. Well, we're going to call that good. I just wanted to show one thing. If you look down in here where that's ribbing that piece of metal, let's see where it's flat. I'm going to use my carbide engraver. It's just a carbide tip tool. It's not an electrical engraver. I'll be putting my initials down in there just in case somebody thinks it's theirs. If you ever see them using it, you suspect it's yours. You're not being a fool by thinking it was yours. There's other ways on stuff that I've hid stuff to where you almost have to take something apart to find it, to find your initials. But I still can't tell you. I have seen a review where one of these came in a box. It was suede leather. This came on what they call a blister pack, whatever, on the cardboard with the plastic. I'm still hoping it was made in the USA. I have not tried to research it or anything. I will say that I did see one in a review that these rivets looked a little different. They looked a little more shinier. When I got this was like it was tumbled, and it came with a dull finish, a few scratches, which that doesn't matter to me. It's going to get scratched. But I did see a review where one of these looked a lot shinier and prettier than this one. The rivets looked a little bit different. But I did mention in my other video, a Torx T10, your lanyard tool, that's what that hex bit holds for. I did tighten these up. I didn't like the wobble in here. There is still some wobble, but I did tighten this up because I didn't like the wobble when I opened it up to went to use it. The wobble wasn't in the pivot point, the wobble was in here. And some of these screws are made to where you might have to hold the other side. The screw goes inside of another screw. On most of those screws that go through stuff like that, you can buy those screws also, little bolts. So you may have it spin on one side, but I just gently tightened it. I got rid of that wobble feel when it was opened up using it, which I did not like that. I want my tool to be as precise as it can be. But I have used the needle nose for stuff and tested it. I've cut a piece of wire with it. I mean, I wouldn't abuse the wire strippers because there's not a real sharp edge in there. It's not the anvil type where, what I call the anvil type is you have one pointy blade and it goes on a flat surface. They're both pointy. So I wouldn't be getting too carried away mashing together. They never last when you do that because they do touch. I've had problems with little miniature vice grips where I've had to file this down because it won't let the needles close. Now these closed, I actually pulled the hair out of the back of my hand with them while they were still new, so they will pull hair out. So I'm glad that when I bought them they did get that closed. But I do like the needle nose for small stuff. Then you can take your little nuts and bolts off here. So I'm happy with it. For $20, I'm happy with it. I thought I'd make a video of doing a couple things with it. Here's my nice little tree stump I made. It's not perfectly flat, but it was just an old stump of wood. I don't know what's on the top here making this slick. I did buff it with a 4.5-inch grinder with those sanding flapper discs. I did buff it off to smooth it, and that's why it got hot and kind of burnt, a piece of walnut. Very nice work surface. I'm setting on a little stump right now that I keep by the stove. I set down on the stump. I don't crouch down to get the stove going. I just sit on my little stump. But nice little work area. Especially if you want to get out there and do something and it's cold out and you just started the stove, you can move it over here and set with a wood stove. But it's starting to get too warm. It's 70 over there on the wall, so we're done with this. Set it over towards the trash. Thanks for watching. Give a little shot of the stove before we leave. Just a hunk of walnut in there with another little small piece that was split. But it should be up off here. Get like something down on it so the air gets under it. And I I made this. This was a handle off an old rake or something, and it's pretty simple. See how I put the point and bent the other one back and welded them or brazed them together, and then put them inside the pipe, like you can use conduit. Very simple stove poker tool. We'll get the door shut before we get too much smoke in here, especially with the walnut. It's pretty strong stuff. I did modify my latch. I kind of bent around it so this closed tight. This would rattle, and I know if it's rattling, that's not good. I figured maybe it got too hot, it might warp the door. I want this door tight. So I did modify the latch and bend it and reshape it using a crescent wrench, vice grips, different little tools. Just so, and I bent the corner out. Your very little corner right here, I bent it out, and when this comes down in there, it won't snag. That's tight. That's how I want my door. I don't want to walk away and have the door rattle. A piece of wood could fall against your wood stove door when you're out of the room and pop the handle up. It's not likely to do that. I like making homemade stuff, so that's very simple to make just by looking at it. You got two rods. One's bent around, put something in the vise, bend it around, weld and braze them together first, shove them in the pipe, and this is no heavier than, it's actually wimpier than conduit. So it'd take a lot of force before you ever bent this. It just had to be part of an old rake, cheapy rake with a handle. So I like making my own tools. Thanks again for watching.